Welcome to today's talk session. My name is Deidre Moss, and I am the host of Can We Talk? I am an educator, motivator, and talk connoisseur. Today, our talk session will focus on autism awareness. My guest today is Yolanda Smith. She will join me today in talking about autism awareness. And so at this time, I will pass the virtual mic to her to have her introduce herself. Yolanda?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Yolanda Smith. I am the life coach navigator where I am a certified life coach. I specialize in helping parents with special needs children to develop a plan of raising their kids as well as still reaching their goals, not being stuck because we have autism kids. And I also specialize in network marketing coaching. So I am super excited to be here. Thank you for allowing me to be here today.
Thank you. Thank you for being open and sharing your story. And I just wanted you to talk about the blue because I would have asked you earlier, about the blue, so you could share with our audience.
Absolutely. The blue is basically for autism awareness, where we light it up blue is just to let everyone know awareness of autism. So, being a parent of an autistic child, we go out of our comfort zone. If you want me to light it up blue, I will light it up blue for you. So it's basically just a symbol of awareness for autism, as well as not just the blue, but it's just for the month of April. But we do have like the puzzle pieces that also is connected to autism.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Yolanda. And I would like to thank you for being open and honest and talking about and sharing your story. So I want to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Can we talk about autism awareness?
Absolutely.
Great. And so just before we get into that, just a brief overview. Our talk will be focused on autism awareness, as April is the month that we recognize autism awareness, and we recognize Autism Awareness Day on April 2nd. Autism Awareness Day is recognized internationally to raise awareness about autism and autistic spectrum disorders. And so, in looking at really what is autism, I looked at autismspeaks.org, and according to their definition, autism or autism spectrum disorder, ASD, refers to a broad range of conditions characterized by challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech, and nonverbal communication. Okay, so in getting into our talk, I wanted to ask you, Ms. Smith, what are your thoughts on autism and autism awareness?
Autism, I with autism is not like a mental disorder. To me, autism is life. It's a part of someone's life. It's a part of a way. Autistic people have to learn differently, and they know things differently. So it's we're still human. Our babies are still human, and it's just life. It's just a different part of life. And with awareness, we just want people to be aware that we are basically the same, but we're just on a different level.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. And I don't know if you can just shed light on it a little bit, but from what I know, sometimes kids with autism is like in some areas there's like a heightened um, intelligence as it relates to being artistic and being creative. Like there's a heightened awareness.
Yes, my son is actually 3 years old. He is very smart. I normally say nonverbal, but he's really not nonverbal. He just don't talk to me, right? So he know his ABCs. He was knowing his ABCs at the age of 2. He was doing his shapes and numbers. He knows shapes that I never heard of. Like, when he recognizes a shape, he's basically teaching mommy, right? So he's real smart, and he normally communicate with song, a humming of a song, or gesture as it's pushing me, or taking my hand and pointing, and so his communication is more like sign language. So he's learning sign language. So when I say he's learning, so guess what? Mommy has to learn too, right? So it's just a different way of teaching. Their brain is just focused on, it's not focused on the world. They have this all these great ideas in their brain, and they're very intelligent.
Awesome. Yes, awesome. Agreed. And so, Ms. Smith, what would you like for people to know about autism and autism awareness, who may not be as knowledgeable about autism and autistic spectrum disorders? What would you like them to understand?
Like again, I would love for people to understand that autism is life, that we're just on, our babies are on a different level, and that our babies become adults. So they have to go through a lot of therapy to learn how to adjust in the world. So with autism awareness, I think it should be more than just April, but we could say that about everything. So but as a parent of autistic child, it's my job to make it aware to everyone to know that they are human. They are smart. They just have a different way of communicating. Sometimes they don't know how to communicate. That they're not dangerous. And it's like going to, you know, I don't know if I could talk about it. Going to being a black woman with a black son, we already have those issues. And to add autism on top of it, when the polices are out and see our kids, they need to understand the difference with someone, having a meltdown and someone, that's really to harm. And our kids are no harm, they just misunderstood. So I would love for people to educate themselves. Like, don't assume. Like, I know it's times where I go in the grocery store, and as a mother, it's difficult to have people stare at me because my son is having a meltdown. He just their environment, like they don't like changes. Like once I get into a routine and this is the routine he knows, he want to stick to it. Like, we've been in this grocery store too long, mommy. It's time for a meltdown. So to see a mother go through that, or even a father to go through that, don't judge us, because sit down with us, educate your kids about it, because our kids have to go to school with your kids. And if your kids doesn't know anything about autism, they begin to bully our kids. And once our kids get to a point where they understand what's happening, it's heartbreaking. So I would like the world to know that it's okay to educate yourself.
Absolutely. And as you would have said, sometimes you may find yourself in a store where your child may have a meltdown. Do you find that persons are understanding?
Some people are not understanding of it. They look at it like they characterize our kids as bad, and they look at us like, you need to do this to your child, you need to do that. But and I know a lot of people like, you should whoop them, you should do this, and we can't do that. Like, that's not how we communicate with them. They have a different way of being communicated with, and sometimes we just have to sit there and just calm them down in their own special way. And it has been times where I might get help, it just from just a mother, someone being a mother and knowing what I'm going through, was actually sit there and help me grocery shop. Because anybody knows, when you go out to the grocery store, you don't want to go home and come back out. Once I'm in the house, I want to be in the house. So we want to be understood, that we want to enjoy the world just like everyone else.
Yeah, you made some excellent points. Even when you spoke about um, persons in dealing with the kids as they grow up and as they get older, being a mom with a child who is both black and autistic, um, in dealing with confrontation. Do you think that maybe some type of specialized training is needed to calm down?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I
yeah,
do believe it. I am that mother that will show up at the police department every month with pamphlets to teach them. They look at me crazy, but You never know how many times they switch out, employees. I don't know the turnover of, being a police. So I will walk in there with my child because I am his advocate. I am his voice. And hopefully it will spread out to other police departments to educate themselves about a lot of special need kids because they're out working and the kids are, they might pull them over because like our kids gonna grow up and drive one day. Our kids gonna grow up and be on their own one day, and we don't want to have to be afraid sitting at home wondering is it okay for our kids to go out, in the world and might have a meltdown and what will happen. So it's very important that especially police officers educate themselves on the different types of gestures and stuff that go on with autistic kids.
And I like that you said that you yourself, you go out and share pamphlets. So you're out there working as well, trying to raise awareness. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I like that you, like you mentioned, you're your own child's advocate. So I like that you're doing your part as well to help bring
Absolutely.
awareness. Yeah. Yeah. So and as you would have spoke to that, that kind of brings me to my next question. As a parent of a child who has autism, what are some of your challenges, as you would have mentioned some, and then there are triumphs as well. What are some of the triumphs that you would have experienced?
Oh, it is very hard. It's not an easy job. On top of being a mother, it's already hard to raise a child. Then on top of having an autistic child is unpredictable. My days are unpredictable. One day he might wake up happy. One day he might not even sleep. So it's a lot of lost sleep, sleepless nights. So it's very hard. It's even just going out trying to educate other people, getting some people are accepting to it and some people are not. Because once you have a child, there's two different stages. You have autism awareness. You have to be aware that okay, this is what's going on with my child. And then there's that next level of getting to autism acceptance. So I'm at that stage where I'm at
Ooh,
autism
wow,
acceptance.
wow,
So I have to play
wow.
both roles. I have to be an advocate for my child as autism awareness because it's some parents out there that see kids and they are in denial. They don't want to get their child help. They don't want to get their child
Mm,
diagnosed. And I
that's so
know there are
powerful. Wow,
different, yes, and there's so many parents that don't want their child to be labeled or mislabeled.
wow,
And
wow.
it's so many different stages in it where, I wanna be that advocate where I'm not advocating for my child, I'm advocating for their child and for them as parents. So it's like just so many different stages you have to go through, and it's hard
Wow.
trying to make awareness to everyone at the same time taking care of your child because my child, like I said, is only 3 and he have days where he have meltdowns where it just you know take up my whole day where I have to cancel everything. And I was at the point where before I had him, I was working a full-time job at the postal service. But then once I had him, he got diagnosed and there's so many services that he needs. I had to make a decision. Like, even though I'm grateful to had I had a job that understood his situation, but there are many parents out there, their jobs don't understand why you taking all these days off, why you need all these days off, and and I want to be an advocate for them as well because it's hard because you have to make a decision. Should I work? Should I stay home? What should I do? Babysitting is not a free service. There's nobody babysitting for free. So it's just so many decisions because you have a child, you plan this is what I want my child to be. I want my child to grow up and be successful. And then you get that diagnosis and you have to go through so many grieving stages on top of being a strong person for your child. So it's a mental issue. It's just so many different emotions that goes along with being autistic and raising an autistic child.
Yeah, and you made a very powerful point where you said that is levels to it. You on one end you have autism awareness, and on the next end you have autism acceptance. That's
Mhm.
powerful.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's powerful. And like as you would have mentioned, some persons may be struggling with accepting the diagnosis.
Mhm.
But when you struggle with accepting the diagnosis, sorry, how are you going to get help if you're not willing to accept what the situation is? You know.
Exactly.
So
And that's why I encourage everyone that has a special needs child, or autistic child, to make it aware. Don't be afraid to share your story, because you never know who it can help. I know when my son first got diagnosed, I didn't want to go out. I wanted to be shut in the house, and I didn't tell people what was going on with him. But once I made everyone aware, it's so many people that I help now has come out and say your story has helped me. I was ashamed. So I think that's where we go back to autism awareness. If we are aware of it and we make it aware, it you have people that will come out and be okay with it and learn how to live a life with a child with autism.
exactly, and that's why your story is so powerful. And so in moving into that, I wanted to ask you, Miss Smith, your thoughts about parents or people who might believe that it would be in the best interest of the child with autism to be institutionalized or in an environment where they can get like personalized care and support.
I My thoughts on that is I feel like they should get the support, because it depends on what level you're at. I mean, we all need support with it. It goes back to awareness. Like, you have to be aware. You have to stop being ashamed. You have to stop being denial, because we are ourselves, and then we are the advocate for them. Like, they can't make decisions right now, so we have to make those decisions for them. I do want my son to enjoy the outside world. I don't want to shut him out. So I do like enjoy going to the park and going different places. So but I don't like the stairs. So people stare, and people label your kids as bad. As a mother, you get to the point where you want to fight everybody. So, but we don't want to get to that level. We want everyone to understand or be even aware of it, that and teach your kids, so that my child can be okay going out. My child can be okay having meltdowns. My child can be himself and still enjoy the world just as everyone else. And I know some people with older artistic kids that they might have to put like in a home or something, because the kids, their strength is really strong, and if they're nonverbal, and imagine being to a point where you can't talk and nobody understand what you're saying. It frustrated them. And if your child is a fighter or whatever, and don't worry about what people say, because you put your child in a home, because you don't want black eyes either. You get whatever help you need, whatever is out there. We have to stop worrying about what the world will say and do the best for our kids.
Awesome. Excellent point. Excellent point. And so attached to that is the financial impact. And as it pertains to finances, how have you and your family been impacted financially in terms of getting care and getting support? Is it, does it really impact you
It
greatly?
it does, because it is so much they have to go through. Like my son, he had to have feeding therapy, he had to have speech therapy, OT therapy. He was, it just going through a lot of procedures. It was, you know, it's overwhelming. And then you have to fight the system, because they only give you so much money a month only for your child, and then you have to take off work, and you can't make over so much, or they'll go in your account and take that money right back out. So it's hard to try to balance that, trying to, because yeah, I feel like the system is trying to keep us in poverty. We're not trying to stay there. We're not trying to depend on you, but we need the assistance. But at the same time, it's not enough. But I know to some family it might help, but with all those, it depends on all the therapies and everything your kids needs. It's not cheap. It's the cost is like over thousands and thousands of dollars. I know my son went to feeding therapy and I was denied Medicaid, and because they felt like I made too much money. And the cost for the program was $10,000. And the insurance I had, I thought, okay, this is gonna cover a good bit. I still had to come out my pocket with $8,000 for him to get the services that he need, and not even that, he was going to feeding therapy on top of speech therapy. And, he wasn't able to go up and down stairs, so they had to teach him how to balance himself. So it was so many therapies. Like I had appointments, like one year it was like 80% of my time was at doctor's office and specialists trying to get him the help that he need, and the finances were not there. But as a parent, we just do what we have to do, and the system, like, no, you work, so we're not helping you. Like, do y'all see how much this stuff costs? Like, my job alone, even if I give you my whole check, would not cover this amount of medical bills that we have. But me and my husband, we work together, and we just made it happen. Like, I still get bills today, so you know how that is. Like, it is what it is. But I did have to walk away from my job. So that's when I began to use my certificate as a life coach to help parents in this situation, because it's services out there. I don't know about every state, but in Georgia, here where I'm at, it's services out there, but they will not tell you about them. So that's why we have to knock down every door we can. We have to advocate as best as we can, because if you don't, they will not share any information with you. Like, you have to research, because it's services out there that help kids with autism, but they will not tell you about it.
So there are services available, but they will not share it with you. So oh wow.
Yeah, you have to research. We have to work together. Like, I have a friend that might call me and say, "Hey, I found out about this program." Like, I just found out about a program where they will come, while I'm working, they will have a babysitter come in and help me out. Like, why not just tell me this is what and I need it. It's like so many services out there. My son, he still doesn't eat well. He only drank Pediasure. And I don't know if you ever go in the grocery store, and I know you're over in the Bahamas, but I'm sure it's probably expensive there too. But if you go in the grocery store and look at Pediasure, it only comes 6 in a pack, and that doesn't even cover one day. So it's like so much trying to buy food for them, because they're picky eaters, and they have sensory, like my son has sensory issues, so he's real sensitive about what he put in his mouth, what he tastes, what hearing. He now noise is too loud. He has so many issues that we have to figure out. And it's funny, because my son like nothing but expensive stuff. We'll try to go the cheap way and buy this and buy that, but he will not eat it. He only wants Pediasure, and he only wants vanilla or strawberry. So it's expensive. And then there's programs out there that will help you purchase those, but if you don't say anything, if you don't know about it, they're not going to make it aware. So we have to, as a community of autistic parents, we have to stick together and share those resources with each other.
Wow, that's the crazy part of it. The fact that people need these resources and it's not actively shared. That's a scary part of it. But you brought up an excellent point with the kids. Yeah, that's what they do. They will go on the expensive end when you're trying to save. Yeah. So I completely get what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Yes. And so we're moving in out of the financial aspect, do you find that do you have a strong support from your community, a network of support from your community as it pertains to providing support to yourself, your family, or your child?
At first, it was a lonely road. It was just us. It was, people not understanding. I had a real group of friends that kind of disappeared, and it's because they didn't understand, or once my son got to the age where he was having those crazy meltdowns, it's like nobody wanted to be bothered with that. It was a lonely road. It wasn't until I began to speak out and to tell them, hey, this is what I need from you as a friend. I need you to make yourself aware of autism. I need your support, even if it's just a call to check on me. You know, we don't ask for money. We ask for is to know that someone is there and that we're not alone. So at first, the support wasn't there, and it could be on my end too, because I'm a prideful person. I don't like to ask for anything. So it's all about, speaking out. The support is there, but I think as an autistic parent, we have to stop being ashamed to ask for the help that we need and the support that we need, because people just don't understand it. They're not aware of it, so they think we're needing space, but it's not. It's not that. It's just that we don't know how to ask for support.
I love that, Miss Smith. That's so powerful. The key is to reach out. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so powerful.
Mhm.
And so, I wanted to find out from you. Can you tell us more about your work and the services that you offer?
Absolutely. Again, I am a life coach, and I specialize in helping parents with their special needs kids, just to develop a plan of how to kind of sort of balance a life and to go after those goals. Because sometimes, as special needs parents, we put our goals and our dreams on back hold. So I help you create a plan of still going after your dreams while raising your special needs child, because it's so important that we don't give up on our own life trying to raise our child, because we still have a life to live. So I help balance that out, and I also help create a plan. If you're having trouble just raising your child, is I give them the creative plan that fits their life to be okay with adapting to those breakdowns and those meltdowns, and adding those in the plan, as well as if though they will happen on this day or that day. So we create a plan to be more open and to help one another. And also I created a 10-day journal to help get people started on trying to reach their goals.
Awesome, awesome. You're doing some great work.
Yeah. And
And
I
so,
guess I forgot to mention I am a brand, and I'm sorry. I forgot to mention I am a brand ambassador of a magazine called Harmster Magazine, based over in Europe as well. So I do help business owners get out there, whether you're just starting or whether you've been in the game for a while. So I help future you and promote you in your business.
so is it for like entrepreneurs?
Yes.
Oh, awesome, awesome, great, awesome. And so, as we come to the end of our session, I wanted to open up for any remarks or any other comments that you would like to add as it pertains to autism awareness or anything else.
Sure. I'm first of all, I'm grateful. Thank you for allowing me to be on here with you. It's been an honor meeting you. I just want people to be aware that just be aware of and be mindful of the people around you. Make sure you are educating yourself. Make sure you're not passing judgment on anyone. We are human, and just to the people that think their child have autism or have autism and you're ashamed, just know that there's help out there. I am here to help you. I am here to communicate with you. Don't be ashamed. Our kids are nothing to be ashamed of. They're smart, they're brilliant, and I just love them to death. Like, I am here for you. I'm here to advocate for you. So you can always reach out to me. Like this, it's nothing to be ashamed of. And you're doing a good job. If you're raising an autistic child, you're doing a great job. And I just want you guys to know that.
Absolutely, I totally agree. And so with that, we've come to the end of our session. I would like to thank our listening audience for listening in, listening to our talk. I would like to thank my guest, Ms. Smith, who has been so open and so awesome in sharing her story. And you can follow her on Life Coach Navigator on Facebook.
Yes.
Yes, and I would like to again thank our viewers for listening in. Like our page for future notifications of upcoming talks. Comment under our videos. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts on this session and let us know what you would like us to talk about. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Can We Talk, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you and good day.
Okay, thank you.